Hey, what's up guys, it's Matt, welcome back. Today we are talking about Halloween 2018. This is a direct sequel to Halloween 1978. Over the years there have of course been many sequels to the original 1978 Halloween. This movie is basically the now canon sequel to this 1978. All those other ones didn't happen, they're Elseworld stories, whatever, just completely forget about them. It goes Halloween 1978 and then Halloween 2018, 40 years later. The story is basically a continuation of that original story. The film is set 40 years later, with Jamie Lee Curtis reprising her role as Laurie Strode from the original. And it basically sees Michael Myers escape from the mental institute where he is 40 years later on Halloween, and decide that he wants to go sort of finish off his job that he started 40 years ago. Now, I don't know about you. For myself, I'm not, I've seen all the Halloween movies, but I'm not some like massive fan of the franchise. I'm not kind of caught up in the whole storyline of it all. I thought it was very cool that Jamie Lee Curtis was back. I thought where they took her character was very interesting. You know, she's kind of spent the last 40 years kind of tortured by the memory of Mike Myers and what he tried to do, and she's basically spent 40 years preparing for the eventuality of if he'll ever escape. This has had a big impact on her life, it's had a big impact on her daughter's life, and in a way it's kind of had a bit of an impact on her granddaughter's life. So kind of seeing how her character's developed was quite interesting. But then yeah, seeing her daughter and her granddaughter, their roles were kind of, I didn't really care. There seemed to be quite a lot of emphasis put on the granddaughter, played by Andi Matichak. I don't know, I think the film could have worked without her. It's kind of like they threw her in because it's like, oh, the original Halloween had a load of teen drama, so there's got to be some teen drama in this one, which, okay, I kind of get where you're coming from. That's kind of the classic horror slasher stereotype trope, but I don't know, I think the film could have maybe been better if it had just kind of focused on Jamie Lee Curtis and kind of how it's affected her all this time. Some of the other sort of side characters, such as the granddaughter, even the daughter, I mean, I get they were characters for Jamie Lee Curtis's character to care about, you know, like, oh, he's going to go after my granddaughter and my daughter. It's kind of her drive, but at the same time, they didn't really need to be there. Mike Myers is genuinely terrifying in this movie. It kind of opens up with, as I said, with him being in the mental asylum, and of course he escapes. I won't go into full details on what happens. He tracks down his Captain Kirk mask, and then it just goes from there, and it is absolutely fantastic. I don't handle horror movies the best. I'm that guy who is like, and I was openly, like, in the cinema, just like, don't go in there, don't open that door, don't open that door. Thankfully, the showing I was in, quite a few other people were like that as well, so it's not like I was annoying everyone in the cinema. But I've never actually found myself doing that in the cinema. I do that at home a lot, when I'm watching TV or a movie. Like, I will be shouting at the TV, but I don't do it in the cinema. This film made me do it. Now, that's not to say that it's the scariest movie that's ever been made, because it's not. I've been freaked out by a lot of other different films more than this freaks me out. But there are quite a few jump scares in there, and the tension that's kind of built up throughout genuinely kind of is terrifying. David Gordon Green, the film's director, and Danny McBride, surprisingly, apparently helped write this, and they both did a fantastic job. The tension throughout the movie is absolutely great. As I say, there are a few points where it kind of slows down because they've had to throw in some teen drama, because apparently slasher horror movies need teen drama, but for the most part, when it's kind of, you know he's there somewhere, and the build-up is just a bit like, that is to say, up until the last build-up, when Laurie Strode, Jamie Lee Curtis, sort of her thing with Michael, like her, like, is he in this room, is he in this room, is he in... It just went on a little bit too long. There were just too many rooms, and too many things in said rooms where he could be hiding, and they just dragged it out a little bit. But the rest of it, throughout the film, though, absolutely brilliant. There's kind of this one sequence of Mike Myers where it's kind of like filmed in one shot of him going from house to house to house, which is just absolutely brilliant. And again, that's just one of those moments where I was like, no, run, fool, run! Of course, they couldn't hear me because it's a big screen and it's not there. And yeah. Halloween, I really enjoyed it. As I said, I'm not a big sort of massive uber nerd fan of the franchise, so I don't know. People who are might be disappointed with it, I don't know. Just as a kind of standard horror movie to go and sort of put you on edge a little bit and freak you out, I would definitely recommend it. Not the best horror movie I've ever seen, but by no means the worst horror movie I've ever seen. I'm going to give the film a 6 out of 10. I definitely recommend, if you've not got any plans for Halloween, go check it out, you won't regret it. If you've enjoyed the video, do give it a like, do subscribe to the channel. Until next time guys, thank you very much.